Okay, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another album review. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Stitched Up Heart's Darkness. And if you guys know, I actually reviewed Mixie of Stitched Up Heart a couple of months ago. If you want to see that, the link is in the description or in a card on screen. Was curious about how their album was, because I listened... Prior to the interview, I only listened to their previous records, and I did not listen to their newest album. And let me just say that I'm kind of upset that I didn't. As we start out with Lost, which features Sully Erno of Godsmack, pretty solid guitar work from the band mixed in with Mixie's solid vocals throughout provide a pretty solid hard rock track. And the little added touch of Sully Erno from Godsmack seems really smooth as they transition to him. And I actually enjoy the song the more I listen to it, and I really enjoyed the distortion on Mixie's voice throughout as well. Once we move on to This Skin, this song expresses a lot of insecurity and problems dealt with body shapes and not feeling okay within your own skin. I like the chorus where they just say, "This skin I'm in, painted scars all over it," which I can draw parallels to maybe self-harm, and the more somber tone that this song has gives more leeway to maybe some experiences the band has endured, as I also do know people who have struggled with self-harm. I found this song very close to home, and it does tackle a subject that many of us can relate to, and I can't help but love this song because of that. Speaking of different problems, we have the next track, which is Problems. It tackles the subject of anxiety, something I can get a little more insight on, as I'm currently struggling with that, and it seems like they're having a lot of conflict about it, especially in the way that someone can get married to their problems, constantly wanting to get help, but they'd rather just live with it and then want a medication to change them, or how they are trying to ask for help and no one's listening, which is a relatable subject to people with anxiety. And I do enjoy the very low tones that Mixie uses in her vocals and in the chorus and the pre-chorus as it crescendos into a more powerful song. And I may not enjoy the electronic switches during the refrain, but other than that, I think that the song is very solid. Then we move to Warrior. This song I had a little bit more struggle to analyze, as I can't really discern on first listen, but I feel like this is more of a stand up for you self type song. That's what I could grasp from the lyrics, but other than that, I can't really say I enjoy this track as much as the other songs on here. We then move to Straight Jacket. This song I was kind of iffy on at first, but after it got to the chorus and several listens, I really enjoyed it. I love the way that Mixie's vocals switch to a very higher tone as she holds her high notes so well. And the instrumentals and repeating of You Makes Me Crazy Now gives me Axing Alexandria's self-titled album vibes, which isn't a bad thing because I actually really enjoyed that album. And yes, I'm going to be listening to their new album soon, just give me some time. And other than that, the song kind of gives me this sense of you're my one, you're my only type subject, and you make me crazy, which is why my heart needs a straitjacket, which may be a little bit on the nose, but I'll give it a pass since it does sound pretty great. We move over to Dirty Secrets. I was also pretty iffy on this song as well, as I can draw parallels to a potential love interest or maybe a lost interest, as they never really told Mixie what made him leave or why he won't give her a chance, which is what has me conflicted about the Spit in My Face. I can't say I enjoy this song as much, as I also don't like the electronic elements in this song as much as the other tracks on the album, but I will give it the fact that Mixie and the band kill it during the chorus, and as it just seems like they always kill those in their songs. And we move over to the title track, which is Darkness. This song touches the subject of mental illness and specifically depression, and the first four lines kind of symbolize questions that people with depression would ask, as some will resort to dirty water or alcohol, others can resort to popping pills and numb the pain or even self-harm, and this song kind of symbolizes the darkness as the depression, but they're still going to push through and still live on. Even though they live through such pain and sadness, they still have to move on with their everyday life. And now, I can say I'm not too much of a fan of the chorus instrumentally, but the electronic elements I feel fit this song the most, as she kind of gets her point across already in the verses, so the guitars and the drums speak for the rest of the chorus and the song, as they pour out this very uplifting sound which was mixed with the very dark subject matter, and it just works so well, especially Mixie's broken voice towards the end of the track. And then we move to a different approach with Bones, as they drop the high power guitars and basses, but we start out with a very slow guitar rhythm, and Mixie expresses her feelings about how people would want her for her skin, which you could probably apply as men who just want her for her body, and not really think about her as a person, which you can also say she may be sensitive to criticism, as I see she also talks about people who talk behind the screen and just see her as a pretty face, and you can really feel the hurt behind her voice. As she slowly begins to crescendo, it did give me memories of Bring Me the Horizon's Amo with the first part, where the chorus ends and it's just electronic mixed with the rhythm. But I really enjoyed the song. The passion behind her voice and the clear message that she's trying to express is phenomenal and a little bit emotional, and it's just brilliant. And then we move over to some adultery and toxic relationships in Dead Roses, which is a not very talked about subject, so shout out to Stitched Up Heart for that. But Mixie talks about how she keeps coming back with this asshole who's been proven to cheat and a manipulator, and she's almost stuck to the pain as she's expressed her heart is already broken and nothing can really fix it or affect it anymore, for the simple fact that he has broken her, so there's no fixing or breaking again, almost like she's numb to the pain. And I should also mention the vocals in this song are extraordinary. As I listen to this album more, you can hear such emotion behind her voice, and this song gives me a Flyleaf mixed with Lacuna Coil type vibe, and that's also a compliment because those are some amazing bands. That is a solid guitar solo during the refrain, even though it is very distorted by that radio effect that is all over this album. Which, that effect does work sometimes, but on this song, not really. And then we move over to Crooked Halo. This song kind of goes more into the electronic side once again, which I found interesting because the album just seems out of order here. I feel as if you put Crooked Halo after Bones, it would fit a lot more. And the song doesn't really seem like a normal rock song. It does sound like a Billie Eilish track. I know that Mixie said that she really enjoyed her, as seen in my interview that you guys should go check out. And even though this song may seem very out of place on the album, I do appreciate them for experimenting on an already solid track. Even though I can't really make out what this song is supposed to be about, and as I got towards the end, this song seems to follow the same structure as Bad Guy, as it delivers some 808s and some hi-hats in the chorus and verses, but then all of a sudden switches to this very, the slow distortion instrumental until the song ends, which I could say maybe if this was a different band, or maybe even if Mixie releases as a solo song, it could have worked very well. And we move over to My Demon, the closing track. I really like this track. It takes a more rap rock approach, and I do like the fact that they talk about the fact that depression is referred to as a demon. Like, it's always there with them and they have to stick with it, and I'm not really much for features on rock albums, but I feel as if a feature from maybe From Ashes to New, or maybe even Tommy Vexed, I think that this song is a pretty decent closer for the album. I do really like the scream that Mixie does halfway through the song. I'm surprised that I didn't see a lot of this on this album. I thought that they all did a really great job closing off the album like they started, talking about their problems but still staying hopeful all at the same time while delivering some kick-ass music. My final thoughts, I thought that Mixie's vocals were phenomenal. There was a lot of great elaboration on the subject matter, lots of experimentation that worked, but a lot of it just kind of fell on its face as well. The distortion I didn't really like too much for this album. The electronic elements sometimes worked and sometimes didn't. I feel like you just kind of have to find the middle ground between them. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more work with the electronics in the future, but maybe a little bit toned down vocally for effects. Like add more effects to the instrumentals instead of that, which is why I'm actually going to be rating this album a solid 8 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed. My voice is going out, and I will see you all next time.